What's up, guys? I'm Shane, president of TPS Car Parts, and this is Ask the CEO, where I tackle your actual questions with no BS. So let's jump in. First question. Tyler from Red Deer, Alberta asks, is there any real difference between a $300 and a $600 tonneau cover? Yes, there is. The specific differences are going to depend on what exact model, what brand, etc., so on and so forth. But this is definitely one of those categories where you are going to get what you pay for. Sometimes with material quality, but more critically with warranty, support, etc. There's, everyone and their dogs making tonneau covers these days. They're all over Amazon. They're everywhere. At the end of the day, do you want it to last the life of your truck, or do you want it to last a year or two? If you want it to last a year or two, fill your boots, go buy the, Amazon Kung Flu tonneau cover. If you're looking for something that's going to last as long as your truck does, maybe longer, going to have a great warranty, anything from Real Truck is going to get the job done. As far as material goes, hard versus soft. Obviously, hard is going to be longer lasting, more durable, etc. Better theft protection. In the cheaper price point, you're going to get soft. It's going to be vinyl, maybe canvas if you're paying, that $600-$700. So basically you're going cheap vinyl, expensive canvas, better frame, better install. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you, Tyler, for that. Second question here is, which brands do you trust on your own truck? And that is Marcus from Knoxville, Tennessee. So on my truck, I have, there's a long list of products on there. Let's see what I can rattle off the top of my head. So S&B intake, KC turbo, MBRP exhaust, X-Tang tonneau cover, B&W gooseneck, Firestone airbags, Firestone compressor. What else do we got? It's tuned with an SCT. There's some Mishimoto products on there, thermostat. Yeah, that's probably all I can think of right now. Oh, Alpha-X taillights, Alpha-X headlights, Morimoto taillights. Those are all really dialed. So that's a bit of what's on my own truck. Natalie from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan asks, why don't you offer free shipping on everything? Explain shipping cost structure, weight issues, so on and so forth. So Canada is a complicated country, okay, compared to most others, specifically the US, which is our closest neighbor. You can throw a dart at a map in the US and hit a city. In Canada, we're all spread out. So the cost of shipping, even, if I were to ship you this coffee mug to Saskatoon, it's going to be dramatically different sending it to, Iqaluit. So that's why our shipping policy has to be a little bit fluid. We do our best to accommodate everyone. We offer free shipping on most items to most places. But if you're shipping a small item to a remote area, it's going to be expensive. And then, the second thing is going to be courier versus LTL. So LTL shipments, that's pallet freight, basically single item pallet freight, especially going to a residential address where you need a lift gate, you don't have a forklift, you don't have a dock. Oftentimes the cost of, delivering a pallet to a residential address is $300, $400, $500. We do $250 flat rate at checkout, covers most cases. There is the odd time if you are in a remote area and you require LTL service. Sometimes we're going to have to bill some additional fees. You can accept, you can deny. That's just how it is. I wish I could accommodate everyone. Just the fact of the matter is Canada is a logistical nightmare from a shipping standpoint. So this tends to work for 98% of our customers. Obviously, there's going to be 2%. You live in a remote area. Most of you know you're in a remote area. Some people are ordering large stuff. They know they're in a remote area. Most people are understanding about it. So that's why we don't offer free shipping on everything. Dave from Billings, Montana is asking what build I'm working on right now. I don't have a lot going on right now. My truck needs a new intercooler, I think, here fairly soon. That's probably going to be a Mishimoto. I just picked up an Explorer ST. Not planning on doing anything crazy with that. Probably a wheel tire setup to be determined. That's eventually probably going to get a tune, either from I might try a Cobb, and it might get an intercooler, and it's probably going to get um, a Borla S-type exhaust, most likely, but nothing crazy on that. Jared from Hamilton, Ontario. Last question right away. I'm stopping at 5, otherwise I'll be here all day. Jared from Hamilton, Ontario. What's the weirdest customer request you've ever gotten? I don't think one in particular. Like, I've been doing this a minute. I think we're just coming up on 7 years right now. My memory isn't stellar, but a recurring one we get that I've always found interesting is if someone buys an item today for $5, 3 months from now, it's $4.70. We have people come back and ask for that price, like we should refund them. And it's a really odd request to me because I can't think of an industry or really anywhere that would do that. And I also don't see it working the other way. So, 2 examples here. If you go get gas in your car today, it's $1.50. If it's $1.40 next week, no one is going to that gas station telling them that they want a refund for their gas because it's cheaper. Second thing is, it's one of those things where it doesn't really work the other way. So, on the contrary, if an item was sold for $100 today and it's $150 next week, I'm not going to send an invoice for $50 to a customer when the price goes up. So I'm not sure how that became a one-way street in some people's minds, but that is one of the recurring weird customer requests that we get. And honestly, it's usually not the explanation I just gave is usually not received very well, and I don't really understand why. I've never asked for something like this from a retailer, so I don't know who does that. I don't know where it's coming from, but yeah, that one's a recurring one that we see from time to time that I consider a little bit weird. So with that, that's 5. If you want to get your questions answered on the channel, you could be seeing this on YouTube. You could be seeing this on Instagram, maybe Facebook, maybe in our emails. If you want to get your questions answered, our social media is on the screen at TPS Car Parts. You can send us an email. That's going to be sales@tpscarparts.com. You can potentially comment on this video. I cannot guarantee that I will see all of those, but I will do my best. This is a new segment. We're going to see how it goes. So if you have a question you want answered, hit me. Until then, we'll see you next time. Hope you're having a great day.